Welcome back to our show, your show, Let's Talk Stocks. We told you we had to bring him back. There's so much excitement around the possibilities of getting brand Jamaica out there. And of course, Trade Administrator, retired Major Dr. Hugh Blake is back to tell us how we can get our products and services overseas. Welcome.
You know, there are basic tools that are also made available to you, right? That helps a exporter, and it does it in a very quick and expeditious way. So there are things like landed cost calculators that are there. You just input the information. Custom duty calculators, even selling price
so
calculators.
Doc, you're not just talking about providing information to say,
No.
well, you could export to New York
Yeah.
versus Florida for this particular, for mangoes, for example, or breadfruit. But actually you're saying the potential exporter is able to say, well, if you're going through New York, these are the likely requirements.
Yes.
These are the likely duties or so on. And not just that it's a 5%, but you are able to put in and calculate.
Yes, you are able to put in a calculator, and you can size up and see whether this thing makes sense for you, right? One of the things I don't like to so much hammer this point because it requires some work that is a little bit outside of Export Jamaica. But because you can identify who is buying and who is selling and the quantities and so on, you're able to contact these places and find out, you know, what are their prices.
Yes.
And so that is critical information and really puts you in a very advantageous position to be competitive in terms of pricing and so on. I think that's
That's major.
that's major. It's major.
It's major.
Not something that we want to sing on so much,
Yeah.
but you will see that it is there.
The Trade Information Portal. When did you launch that again?
I think that was launched in 2016?
16.
No, 2019.
19.
Sorry. Now, you might be wondering what is the difference between the two.
That's where I'm going.
All right. So, the Jamaica Trade Information Portal, right, provides information on all the regulatory requirements to do cross-border trading with Jamaica.
Yeah.
It's very specific to Jamaica. If you're importing or exporting from Jamaica, all the requirements, all the information, even things like documentation, right, which also Export Jamaica provides for an exporter. So you can access the necessary documents that you need to do trade in any country in the world. You can access it on Export Jamaica. Anyway, back to Jamaica Trade Information Portal. So Jamaica Trade Information Portal focuses on cross-border trading with Jamaica and all the regulatory requirements. And it does have a bit of information as well about internal trading.
Okay.
Yeah. Whereas Export Jamaica now is providing information to Jamaican businesses on what is required to enter into different markets.
As well as relevant market information. So
all the relevant
you really step it up a notch.
Stepped up a notch. So all the compliance requirements for entering into a market overseas, all of that is provided. All of the regulatory requirements. You know, there's a tremendous resource bank where you can go and just about find anything. You know, I came across a site the other day that basically it tells you how to do it, how to what are the nuances in a specific market and how to navigate those nuances. So it's a tremendous tool.
So essentially, Doc, what we're looking at is the regulator. You're not just into regulating alone anymore. You are now a facilitator of trade.
Yes.
And really looking to grow trade, especially exporting out of Jamaica.
And I think that's very important for government, right? That we're a government entity, but I think that's very important, that we must facilitate as best as possible. And so it really is a tremendous help that the government is providing to businesses, because one of the things it does is kind of level the playing field between the larger corporations who are able to have dedicated resource for market research and this sort of thing. Now a small business, right, desirous of exporting, can access the same information. And what's more, during this introductory period for free.
When you and I like the fact that it's free. At this point, I'm sure when the load comes,
it will be a nominal. It won't be anything that is. Because the idea is to assist small businesses and so on.
And that's where I wanted to go.
We're not going to be prohibitive in terms of the cost. It's going to be extremely nominal for money.
But it would be value for money.
But it would be value for money. Yeah.
And when you so we are now saying, hey, we want to facilitate medium and small business really getting into the export market. But it also brings us to another point of very important in our society, where we're asking businesses to become more formal, to be registered and to take on the proper thing of running business.
Yes. And so that is where our Export Academy comes in, because what this does, it will provide training to all registered users in exports, right? The best way to put it, and I'm really trying to break it down very easy, is that if you have a product, or you're manufacturing a particular product, and you want to understand the processes for exporting that product, right? Usually there are a number of state agencies and so on that you have to interface with, that have different requirements. Also, there are certain considerations that you must bear in mind when you're entering other markets and so on. What the Export Academy basically does is it categorizes you. So based on your type of products. So if you're dealing in produce, for example, it takes you to a specific area where you're required to complete an instrument, for want of a better word, a questionnaire. Right? And based on how you complete this questionnaire, we will know where your knowledge gap is. And then the system automatically provides the information to close that gap. And there are some, of course, some little basic quizzes and so on as you go along to help us to satisfy ourselves that you have assimilated at each stage, right? So when you're finished with the Export Academy, when you go through that process, right, and it's customized. What I'm saying, it's customized. It's basically assessing your needs and training you to close the gap. Right. So when you're finished with that, you're going to have a pretty good appreciation of what to do. It will guide you towards an export plan. Something that you can literally go and walk to the bank with and say, this is me, this is my business, this is what I'm doing, here is my plan. It guides you towards that.
And you're launching this one?
In July. And I just want you to understand that what we have done is and all of this is built in-house. Right? It's not like external
Didn't
expertise.
bring anybody from India.
No. This is Jamaican brain power. We've done it, right? So, when you twin Export Academy, right, with Jamaica Export, Export Jamaica, it's extremely powerful.
It is. So the world should get ready
Yeah.
for brand Jamaica, really.
So no longer should anybody complain that they can't do it. We're showing them how to do it.
Yes.
And putting them in an advantageous position to get the information to make good decisions.
As we look to wrap, Doc, what would you want to leave on the minds of your viewers? I mean, you put so much out there already, but I don't know, I'll leave the last word with you.
What I would like the Jamaica business community to understand is that as a government entity, we are doing everything possible, right, to make sure that our exporters have that edge, right, and that they understand the whole process of exporting, that they understand what it is, what is required to get their products into overseas markets and to sell and be successful and so on. And so we are a source of guidance, right? And the thing is that we are making life much easier for our businesses and saving them a lot of money, right? Because a lot of the work that we do, right, you would have to pay significant sums to experts to provide this consultants and so on. Here it is, we're giving it. So you have the help, right? And that the trade board stands ready to assist you and to answer any questions that you have and to hold your hand if necessary and take you through the process because we want to see businesses survive.
Absolutely.
I once did a study that I think what prompted it was that I looked at the GEM, I think it's 2013 report, that said that Jamaica was certainly in the top quartile for countries that have the most startup businesses in the world.
Oh, yes.
But when I flipped the page over, it also said that we have one of the highest failure rates in the world. And I looked at what was some of the reasons why Jamaican businesses were failing and so on. And so I can tell you that a lot of what we're doing is closing out those problems, the problems why Jamaican businesses don't succeed.
All right, there you have it. No reason why you should fail at export, Doc, because the information is being provided for you. As we always say here on Let's Talk Stocks, we give you information to make better financial decisions. Come back with us. Tomorrow morning at 9, we'll have another wonderful program lined up for you.